this is, okay, you ready?
I'm gonna set this down. I don't want this in my picture. Even though we're apart.
When Tal does this, you gotta wait.
That's it.
Hey guys, this is your girl, Tam Cam, always Tam Cam. We're here in beautiful downtown Dallas, and I am just loving life right now. And when I'm feeling good, I definitely want to be around the most creative people in my life. And Tal Campbell just happened to be one of the most amazing photographers that I've ever known. He is here right now, and I was lucky enough to get him before a teaching. So you're starting a class right now, right?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be doing one-on-ones. I like that method a lot better than teaching a classroom full of people. So I like to just take one person and give him my best, make sure he's gonna know something, learn something. I feel like if I do a classroom environment, next week it's just another group of people and I'm just going over the same thing over and over.
Right.
This way I get someone and I craft them into being me.
Right, exactly.
You know, and at the end of the day, I can see the results that I've actually taught them versus just answering questions. This way I can get somebody that's not doing it right, I can give them the answer right there or make some corrections right there. So this is what I like to do.
All right, so for the people who do not know who the world famous guru Tal Campbell is, you want to tell everyone who you are?
Will. I'm Tal Campbell. I've been doing photography. I started probably when I was around 18 in the military. My oldest brother sent me a camera. That's actually what kickstarted my photography interest. So I started photographing people at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, all the people I knew at church. Then I got to meet a lot of young ladies my age. At that time, I was only 18. So I got to photograph a lot of people. That kind of kickstarted my career. I came to Dallas, and at some point, I couldn't get a job like I wanted, so someone told me, hey, you've been doing photography, why don't you go ahead and try to do it full time? So that's kind of what I did. And then over the years, I've self-taught, did some classes, kind of created my own style, and built a lot of followers. So now I want to give back in the sense of being able to teach some folks.
Okay.
Now, of course, there's, I'm gonna learn a lot too by teaching, but teach some folks.
Isn't that the magic of being a teacher, is that you rediscover who you are and what you knew when you were learning it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even I find myself even talking about it when I'm talking to a student or someone who's taking interest in what I'm doing, that we can actually, I'm listening to them and I'm learning as I'm talking to them, or some things I've forgotten. Because you're not going to remember every single thing that you've done, but you'll look back at how you started and how you got there, who helped you and who gave you some pointers, and if you held on to them.
Right.
Right. So photography's not hard.
No.
It's just, are you teachable? If you're not teachable, it's just a waste of time. But you got to be, it's not even saying it's hard, it's just, if you don't listen, you're not teachable, you already know it all, you can't learn from me anyway. Because, but you got to know, you got to be able to listen and be teachable.
But you have to have a strong interest in photography too, because just like any other subject, photography just has to come naturally, right? I mean,
can I give it to you?
Yeah, I mean,
natural.
Because, it really does have to come naturally because, I've tried to learn different subjects. I've tried to master them. And if it don't, if my, soul don't connect with whatever, then I'm not going to get it. So do you feel like it has to be a natural instinct to connect with photography? Were you interested in photography?
Yes.
Even before your brother got you the camera?
Yeah, because even as a kid, I was the one with the Super 8 video out recording my brothers, making them disappear. I was doing things like that back when I was a kid. How you see what they're doing on what's called now. I was doing it back then when I was like 12, 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Even younger than that. When we go to the park, I'd have them run toward me. And then I cut the camera off and say, now, I had a little trickery I did, and then it made it look like they were disappearing. So I was doing stuff back then. Then when I got that camera,
Right.
I just kind of went full force with it.
Awesome. So that was your student right there on the phone?
Yes, that was my student. He's on his way.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be doing one of my fabulous, I call it guaranteed to learn classes, because the more hours you take with me, the more you're guaranteed to learn.
Right.
If you just took 1 hour, your expectations may be different. You may think you could come out here and learn studio lighting, outdoor lighting, creative lighting, and everything else I do in one session.
Right. So in order to make it in this industry in 2025, what must one do?
What you got to do nowadays, you've got to definitely have your head together, how you want to market yourself, how you're going to get out there. And you got to realize that a lot more people are doing it now, and it's so much easier to do now. And the word photographer can be given to anybody nowadays. So it's nothing unique anymore. It used to be unique. So nowadays, who are you? You know, because back then you were unique. You told somebody you was a photographer, you was like a celebrity, because nobody knew how to do what you could do. Now everybody can take a picture. How creative you are depends on who you are. Well, you're gonna have to take it up a notch so far as getting yourself out there and how you're gonna get the business, because everybody's doing it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost kind of depressing in a way, you know, being a photographer, because everyone has a phone and everyone is taking a picture, like you just said. But, you know, when you put it in perspective, you know, most industries nowadays are disappearing or, you know, being reimagined. So we just kind of have to rethink, how can we make our businesses bigger and better? What are you doing right now to take Tal Campbell's photography to the next level?
Well, what I decided to do, I can't be a photographer again, but I can definitely show you what I know how to do and sell that as my new company.
So you're teaching more?
I want to teach more. I'm going to teach more. I am teaching more. And I'm putting people in front of what it's taken me 40-something years to do, and share that with them for a cost, of course. But what I'm doing it differently. I see a lot of people teaching. I see videos on YouTube. But I got to do what I'm comfortable with doing, and how. And then, you know, package it up. Well, people will purchase it, things of that nature. So he got one of my really nice packages.
Your student who's coming?
My student who's coming today. He was really excited when I spoke with him. He looked at my Facebook page, which I've got probably 3,000 or 4,000 pictures on there. And once he saw my work, he really was interested. And then we met up for one of my icebreakers. And once he actually talked to me and saw how I did things, that I really knew what I was talking about. That's why I do the icebreaker. Because anybody can tell you they teach classes. But so I go a little step further. I invite you out to an icebreaker before you pay for any classes. And what that does for you, I get to see your equipment. You get to ask me questions, pick my brain. Am I the guy for you to teach you, or I may not be? So I got to sell myself during my icebreaker to let you know I can teach you, and whatever questions that you ask, I got the answers for you based on what I'm teaching. I'm only teaching what I know or what I do. I'm not trying to teach you what somebody else does. I'm teaching you. You see my work. If you want to do what I do, that's what I'm teaching you.
Well, I have a class with you tomorrow, and I'm extremely excited.
Thank you.
Okay, so when someone takes a class with you, first of all, they do an icebreaker, and you explain what an icebreaker is. You know, you getting to know them getting to know you, and you
I
guys
see their equipment.
You see their equipment, and they trying to see if, you know, you're a right fit for them.
And then I look at if they've done any kind of work. I look at what they've done.
Okay, cool.
That way I know their strengths and perhaps their weaknesses.
So do they have to have experience in
No.
photography? Do they have to have a portfolio or?
No.
But it helps.
Whether they got they've only done cell phone pictures, but they have the right kind of equipment. I just need to see what they've done or what they think is good. You know, once I see that, then I kind of know the direction that I can assist them with in their teaching.
So every student that comes to you is a custom class?
Yes.
You don't go by a syllabus, or you just, you know, you customize it based on who they are? Exactly. That's pretty cool.
That way you get to know, you you may already know some things. I don't have to go over that again. Because when you buy your hours or purchase your hours, I don't want to go over something with you that you are. So I'll take what you already know and strengthen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you have different seasonal packages, but I do want them to know exactly what they're going to learn. Like maybe give me 3 to 5 subject matters.
Yeah, I'll explain it a little bit. So I met up with Paul. We did I call it an icebreaker. I charge you $60. You got to invest something into the hour of my time that I meet with you. Now, after that, you decide you want to take it further, then we discuss my premium packages with you and how you want to do it. It's by the hour or by a certain amount of times, by so many classes. So I kind of chop it up, and then if you want to take it further, we discuss all that. And then we discuss. So today what I'm doing with Paul, once I met with him, I saw his equipment. I kind of know where he's at based on looking at his work, what he's done, and our conversation. So I call today's class Lenses and Lighting. So he's going to bring his 3 lenses. I asked him to bring a 50, 85, and a 12 to 24.
Oh.
We got a good range of lenses. Now there's some other lenses that could fit in that category, but I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody. So let's start with that. This is something he actually owns, and he's got some really good prime equipment. He kind of has an understanding of the lenses. So, and I also want to mix a little bit of off-camera lighting with it. Because even though I'm showing him, okay, shoot with this lens, this is what it's going to do for you. Shoot with this lens, this is what it's going to do for you. You also need to see how you can make it change using some external outdoor lighting. And we use it off camera. It's not on a flash on top of the camera. We have it on a stand. That way you can move it around. So today is lenses and lighting. As we move forward, in some cases, we're going to just maybe have one session where we just work with a 50 or one lens. Then we have one session we work with an 80. That way you're not just bouncing around.
Right.
We spend the whole session on one lens, and you can see the different perspectives, what an 85 could do, what a 50 could do for a whole session. One session is 1 hour. Now you come out here, depending on what session you get, you may want to go ahead and extend it for that period of time to 2 hours. It depends on how excited we get when we are here.
Okay, so if somebody's just starting out in photography, what lens should they be starting out with first?
I suggest they start out with a 50.
Okay.
It's fast. It focuses faster. It's pretty much a wide variety. Just somebody who's just starting out, you can get some nice backgrounds. You want to take the backgrounds and knock it out of focus, you can do that. Kind of give you a blurred look. You can also shoot it, depends on your aperture, where it just looks like a normal lens. That's what we call the normal lens.
Right.
Back in the 35 millimeter days.
Okay. How would you describe your photography?
I call mine more creative lighting. Because when I go out, I really look at how I want to light my subject. Versus some photographers go after more composition. They'll work with shadows. So they'll bring you out here today and they look for shadows. Okay, I can sit her there and the shadows coming from there. So what I do is I come out and I focus on the lighting. I'm sitting at this beautiful park and I'm going to come out here and I'm going to look at how I want to shoot it based on where the light's coming from. I'm a backlight photographer, so I always like the sun hitting the person's back. And then I light the front. So I get my background how I want it. And then I get them lit. After I get everything how I want it, then I light the subject up.
Okay.
Some folks come out and they say, well, I want to shoot with more natural light, but I want to use the shadows chopping the face up or coming through some trees, and the shadow is their magic. That's their creativity.
Right.
I'm a little different.
Yeah.
I like to create my own lighting.
Right. Okay. All right. So today, will he be actually shooting your student? Will any of your students?
I'm going to model for him today.
Okay.
Because when you're just learning how to light something, you don't necessarily need your model. Mm-hmm. You just need somebody to be standing in front of your camera.
Right.
So what I typically do is I come out and I'm the model while they're learning how to set their lights, where to put it. Then I say, okay, this week when you're home, go ahead and take what I taught you today. Mm-hmm. Find you someone to practice on. Mm-hmm. Bring that back and show me.
Okay.
Then as we move further, mm-hmm. then I'll start saying, okay, bring someone.
Okay.
So today I start out with one light. I typically shoot outside with 1 or 2 lights.
Okay.
We're gonna start with 1 light.
Today would be perfect for you. I mean, this is
Yes,
Tal lighting.
this is my lighting.
Yeah, because it's like bold sun.
Yes, I like the bold sun. So she even knows what I like.
Yeah.
I like the bold sun, and then using my creative lighting to light the subject.
Right.
Right. Because I can take this, say, okay, I want that background blurred, or do I want it out of focus?
Right.
Or blurry background, or do I want everything the same?
Okay, cool. Well, I know your student's on his way, and I don't want to run into your session. So you want to tell everyone where they can find you, where they can sign up to take a lesson with you?
Yeah, I suggest you call me on my personal cell, 972-263-6789. And that's Tal Campbell. And then my website, Tal Campbell, TalCampbell.com.
Okay, cool.
Then I'm on Facebook. Of course, that's my main place to go. It's under Tal Campbell. I have a business page, and then I also have my personal page.
Well, guys, make sure you reach out to Tal Campbell if you want to learn bold, creative lighting. I mean, he's fantastic. I actually took lessons with him years ago. I have another lesson tomorrow because I've been out of the scene for a moment. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Always Tam Cam.
All right.
Take care. Bye. That was awesome, T.
Thank you. This will help both of them.